Woo! We are back. We are live. I'm not petty. So, anyways, so welcome back, everyone. By this point, you have hopefully have seen a couple of episodes, but this is my top 25 and college football teams headed into 2025. And so, obviously, this list isn't complete without Ohio State champions, whatever. So that is what this episode is all about. And so, before you introduce yourself, if this is everybody's first episode you're listening to, just so you know, there will be other episodes about other teams. I started releasing these on August 1st, and I just did my countdown. And so wherever you see this video, you can kind of figure out what number I have Ohio State, and that is going to be what it's going to be. So I will stop talking, and I will let you introduce yourself, and then I will ask you the question that I'm dreading, and that is just how it feels to win a national championship.
Well, my name is Charisma the Supreme. Yeah, I'm an Ohio State Buckeyes fan for life. Started when I was a child. Well, I was born into it. My father actually went to the university and then transferred down to North Carolina, where he went to A&T. So I bleed scarlet and gray. But yeah, it feels great to be a national champion because it was, you know, you you saw us like we constantly would knock on the door, constantly knock on the door, and never
Yeah.
really got in. It was always something, Bat had CJ
Yeah.
Stroud, Marvin Harrison Jr., Chris Olave, the list goes on, and we had the offense, but the defense really didn't like complement that until this year. So
Yeah.
feels great.
Yeah, I love it. And I just want to call out that our reception is a little spotty, but we're going to figure this out. We're going to work this. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm not even going to say a lot, but no one knows what we've been through to record this, and you're not the only one. So you will fit right in with everybody else in the series. So we're just going to get in there and we're going to figure it out. And we are adults and we're going to make this happen. The other thing,
Okay.
cool. So the only rule that we have for this conversation is you can't talk bad about my Longhorns, and I won't talk bad about Ohio State. The only rules that we have for this conversation. But having said that, I know that last year when we played you all, I'm just curious to know before the game or when you saw the matchup and you were going to have to play Texas, how are you feeling about that? Were you like, we'll beat them? Or were you kind of like, this will be interesting. I'm not sure how this is going to go.
Yeah, it was. I was real interested to see how things are going to go. I can't say I thought we were going to straight up win. I thought that it was going to be a toss up because y'all had what was that, Matthew Golden, Isaiah
Yeah.
Bond, and a former Ohio State QB and Quinn Ewers. So I knew he would come in there with a chip on his shoulder, ready
Yeah.
to prove something. So I was, I can't lie, I was a little nervous. It's playoffs. You never know what could happen.
Yeah. I appreciate that. So, having said that, you win the Natty, everything's great. You're riding a high, everyone is happy. It was a little bumpy, but you got there. Heading into this season, what is everybody feeling? What is the vibe? What are you thinking? Is everyone like Natty or bust, or is everyone like, okay, let's see what this season brings? Like, how has that expectation changed?
Oh yeah, you know how it is with the Ohio State. It's natty or bust every year, regardless. That's the standard. It's not to be cocky. It's not to be
Yeah,
in your face because I'm not that type of Buckeye fan. We do have a toxic fan base, as a lot of others do, but like that's just the standard that we all set every year. So it's natty or bust again. We try to go back to back.
okay. Do you care? Are you playing with the paper, or is it just my AirPod? Oh, I
It's
don't hear
probably my
anything.
hair with this headphone. Okay, yeah, that's probably it.
I love it. I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
And yeah, and my AirPods are very sticklers. I'm not cutting that out, by the way. I like it. I like the organicness of that. So do you all care about winning the Big Ten, or are you all just like get into the playoffs? Like, what type of fandom, or do you just want to win everything? Like, because some teams have kind of played this a little strategic, and they're like, if we don't win the
hmm
Big Ten and we get a break and we get to get in the playoffs, I'm okay with that. Where do you sit on how you feel about that?
Well, once again, it is a standard. I want to win everything. It's that mentality that I have, and the
Yeah.
whole fan base has. But seeing how like it fell last year, it was sort of beneficial to us to have that buy that time to lick our wounds from
Yeah.
that L that we will not mention. But from that team up north. But yeah, I want to win it all. Win
Okay.
everything. Like don't
Okay.
even like undefeated season type.
Type type stuff. Okay. So
Yeah.
what would you say the strengths are of this Ohio State team heading into the season? I'm just popping in here to say, hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Why are you watching content and you're not subscribed to my channel? Do me a solid, subscribe to my channel, like the video, and I will disappear from your screen and I will let you get into your video.
Um, like always, the wide receiver room. We got Jeremiah Smith, of course, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis. That Carnell Tate and Brandon Ennis have always been on the up and come, and this is really going to be their year to show
Yeah.
behind Jeremiah Smith because everybody's going to be ready for them for Jeremiah Smith, but I'm telling you, I ain't ready for what Brandon Ennis and Carnell Tate got to bring too. So that's the strength for
Okay.
sure.
Okay. And then what is something that concerns you or what is a weakness as you head into the season?
The weakness I'm really or something I'm really concerned about is the defensive line. We lost a lot. We lost JTT. We lost Jack Sawyer. We did add Bo Atkinson in, through transfer, and he looks. From
Yeah.
what I saw, I'm not no film expert or I watch
Yeah.
film. From what I've seen, he's pretty solid. So
Okay.
I mean, it's all we do, and we also had some turnover of as Jim Knowles is no longer our DC. It's
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, it's Matt Patricia now.
Yeah, it is.
So a lot of moving parts, but that's really what I see as the weakness.
Okay. I love that. Is there like,
Mhm.
is this normal for you all to kind of go through to churn out a lot and just to kind of keep churning? Or is this like, how many do you guys usually lose about 12 to 14 starters and just regroup? Or is this the most
Yeah.
you've lost in a while?
I'd say this. We always lose players, especially to the NFL,
Yeah.
every year. As far as this isn't the most we've lost, but it
Okay.
from like what I want to say is like as far as like leaders, it's
Mm,
a lot. We lost a lot. Like Jack Sawyer isn't there. He's Ohio bred. You know,
yeah.
Travion Henderson. He's not there no more. So
Okay.
those were both like leaders in the locker room when things got. You saw the elder of that team up north. When things got bad, those are the ones who the whole locker room turned to.
Yeah.
Obviously we're gonna turn to the coach too, but those guys really. But it's not the most, but at the same time, like you know it's a talent pool. You got to
Yeah.
keep churning because that's just what it is now.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm only asking that also too, like as a Texas fan, because I feel like back to back years we've lost like 10 people and 10 big people. And then then this year we lost 10 more people. And I'm like, I feel like the good programs recover. Like that is part of being a good program. Like you have to backfill. So okay, that makes sense. So
Hmm.
heading into the season, what is some teams or what is a game on your schedule or two games or however many games you have that you're thinking about where you've circled and you're like, okay, I want to see what we look like in this game.
Well, out the gate against you guys, out the gate. I want to see. I want to see exactly how we match up with you all. All the media outlets are naming y'all basically the national champions already, and I'm cool
Isn't
with
that
that.
crazy?
No shade whatsoever. But if that's the case, well, how do we match up with everybody? The media's national champion already.
Yeah.
Let me see how we match up pretty much.
Yeah. I love that. So let's just preview that matchup. Like, obviously, neither one of us has probably done like a ton of research and deep diving. But when you
Uh-huh.
just think about it, what is something that you think about or something that you're like, okay, Texas is rolling into town and I'm going to be focused on this thing? What is something that you're going to be paying attention to when Texas rolls into town?
The play of our quarterback, Julius saying, like, I really want to see how does he make his reads? How does he drop back? Does he panic when things get crappy? How is he going to, roll out of the pocket? How
Yeah.
does that look? So that's really what I'm like, because it's obvious. I mean, it's sort of a cliche answer, like, how's a quarterback look? But yeah, it's
Right.
how does he look, especially, because, Will Howard was there. He's gone now, so it's literally his time to step up. He is a transfer from Bama, so we'll see. But that's really my what I want to see like out the gate.
Yeah. I mean, if it makes you feel better, I want to see the same about our quarterback.
Yeah, for
I
sure,
kind of feel the
for
same.
sure.
Like, I mean, I'm just curious. Like, who are you, Arch? I always say he's not
For
going to
real.
be Peyton, and he's not going to be Eli. He's going to be this own concoction. I just don't know what that is. So stay
Yeah,
tuned. Like, we'll see what it looks like. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Who is
yeah,
there a game
yeah. I'm interested in
on?
that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the interesting thing too is I think everybody's interested. Like everyone's interested in the matchup, okay? Because it's Texas Ohio State. You're interested in the matchup. But then there's like this whole Arch thing where you're like,
Mhm.
what is this? Is this going to be a thing? Is he going to cook us and nobody else? Is he not going to cook us at all and he's going to cook everybody else? Like you're like you don't know. And so the college football for you. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So so when we look at the schedule, is there any game on your schedule that you think feels like a trap game or feels like a game where you just don't like where it sets or you don't like who you play? Or is there just a game where you're looking at it and you're going, oh gosh, I do not like the way this one looks on the schedule?
Of course. Washington. Washington. We're gonna be in Wazoo for that. Or no, is it Wazoo's Washington State, ain't it? Yeah. Well, let me
Uh
take that back. We're gonna be in Seattle for that game. So it's gonna be something serious.
yeah,
That atmosphere is very underrated, very loud,
I
and
agree.
you never
Yeah.
know what the weather could bring that day. Sometimes it rains a lot there. So, if it's raining, is that ball gonna be slipping? How's it gonna look if it's cold and rainy? Because it's
Yeah.
cold and rainy over there. So that's the game. Like we have to make sure we're locked in for that game. Like obviously we want the team up north, whatever. But how are we gonna look for that game on the way to the last game of the season?
Yeah, I respect it. Just so everybody knows, I think we're on a little bit of a delay, so I think we're okay. Like we'll figure it out. We can make it work. I'm not
Mhm.
worried. But just calling that out just in case it comes out that way. The other thing I was going to ask you is if you could beat one team on your schedule and you had to beat them and it would kind of make your season and you're like at the end of the day, we beat those guys. Who would that be for you and why?
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that answer, but it's the team up north. All the talk, all the smack, well, you can't beat your rivals. That's not a real national championship. Yeah, it is. We went through the gauntlet. All right. But yeah, literally the team up north is
Okay.
there's no other answer. It's the 100+ year rivalry. Like you hate that team up north. And it's just
Oh, okay.
it's just how it's
It just
been.
is. Okay.
Oh,
Do you ever
but yeah,
it's
it just
just
is.
it's so interesting. Usually rivals live close or close, like, within hours.
Yeah.
This isn't even close. And it's not in the same state. It's just you can't stand each other. Interesting. Okay. And this
Oh,
year it's
absolutely.
at Michigan, right? Or at the team. What do you
Yes,
call it? The
actually.
team up north?
The team up north, yeah, it's in Ann Arbor this year, so it's going to be even sweeter when we smack them, when we put them back in their place.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Is there any team, if you could take one player from any team off of any college football team, what one player would you take and why?
um, yeah, shout out to my boy Ace for this one. I take wide receiver Nick Harbor out of University of South Carolina. Brian Hartline, our wide receiver coach, he would have him on the same level as Ryan Williams right now.
Okay.
Wasted talent down there in Columbia, in the Met, as Ace would say. But yeah, he gonna like that one.
I love it. Also,
Yeah, Nick Harbor.
small shout out to Ace because Ace actually referred me to you to talk to. So shout out to Ace. I am neutral here. Okay. I am Switzerland. So I am not going to get in the middle of that. So, but I respect it. I totally understand that. And then I guess my last question for you, and then I'll open it up for you if you have anything that you want to ask me about Texas or about whatever you can ask me, is what should we like anything else we should know? about Ohio State heading into 2025 as you think about this team, as you're processing the things that are happening with this team? Or we're a little bit later into the month now, or literally about to start August. What are you hearing? Or is there anything that you're kind of starting to hear and see about Ohio State that is top of mind for you?
Um, let's see. The fan base is a little bit cooler on Ryan Day now. We wanted a lot of, not me personally. Well, I started getting that way towards last year when we lost to Oregon. I
Yeah.
ain't gonna lie. But a lot of the fan base wanted him fired, and if I'm not mistaken, he hasn't even lost double-digit games yet.
Yeah. He
But the fan
hasn't.
base is really cool down on Ryan Day. Um, he's so that's really what I'm seeing.
Okay.
I'm seeing him from the interviews and the stuff that I watch. I'm not deep. I don't deep dive in them all season. I'm not crazy into it. Like I'm not like deep. Like I don't need
A
to see every
fanatic.
interview, but he looks way more confident. Oh yeah, I'm a fanatic, but I'm not gonna deep dive into every interview that he has and everything. But from what I have, from what I've noticed, is that he's calmed down. He's seemed a little bit more confident because the proverbial monkey on his back was
Mm-hmm.
finally lifted. So that's really what I'm seeing. It looks like the fan base really has gravitated to him
Got
because of
it.
that. And Nick Saban even said it like, dude, like this coach hadn't even lost double-digit games. You guys got to embrace it, through the thick and thin. And but yeah, that's really what I've noticed. But my real outlook for the season is like I said, like we gotta. I know I said we gotta go back to back, but let's get to the playoff. Let's literally defend our. Let's defend that natty. It's
Yeah.
time. It's really time to show because we've been that dominant team. It's been that way for a very long time. It's just we've always slipped up. So like I said in the beginning, like it's time to really like leave our mark, as the Panthers would say, and like really like stand on 10 with this.
What is theirs? Keep pounding or what? Is that the thing? I think it's keep pounding. Did I just make that up?
Keep pounding, yeah. Keep
Okay.
pounding.
Okay. I was like, that
No,
came
it's
out too
yeah,
easy. Did I make that up?
that's our mantra.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, do you have any
that's the
questions
I
for
am a oh
me?
yeah for I am a Panthers fan. So, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. I do have just one question for you because I see you are a Texas fan. You know, I grew up seeing, I was like a child when, Vince Young was playing for you guys. I had just got to middle school or something.
Oh,
But
that's cool.
back then nobody like yeah, back then nobody liked USC, the Trojans. So seeing y'all in that natty was like so cool, especially seeing a black quarterback do what he did. But uh, like, where were you? What were you doing when that happened? How did that feel? So that's what I want to know as a
Yeah.
Longhorn fan.
Yeah. So I think that this is going to be the first time I'm telling this publicly. So, and this is going to release. So we were going to be good. So when Vince Young was actually, so Lindell White, so Coach Sark, ironically, decided to give the ball to Lindell White and not Reggie Bush for on 4th and 2 or whatever it was. And Lindell White gets stopped. Texas gets the ball back. Vince Young is driving. Vince Young had been doing this all year. And right when he is going to score a touchdown, my younger sister actually had a seizure. And so I watched Vince Young run into the end zone, put the ball like across the pylon. Then it was like all attention diverted to my younger sister to like call 911 and get her to the hospital and get her to do all this stuff. So
Wow.
my celebration story, I feel like came obviously after all of that. Like we were still excited and we were still like, oh my God, we did it. We won. And like, is she okay? Where are they? So it was like panic and happiness all at once. And I'll never forget my mom that night was like, oh, I feel sorry for whoever has to go to the hospital tonight. I feel sorry for whoever has to make that ride in this traffic. And it was us making the ride downtown through Austin, through the traffic, through everything. It was chaotic. It was terrible. But my sister's okay. She's alive. Everything, everything is everything. But that was my experience. And so I always say, like, my experience of winning a championship is interesting because I have an interesting relationship with it because I always wonder if we get that close again and we win a championship, I always wonder if I will have PTSD. I always wonder if that will stay with me,
Yeah.
like when in that situation again. But I guess we'll never. I mean, hopefully I'll find out soon enough. But So yeah, that's where I was. And shout out to Vince Young and shout out to those icy whites, because I don't care what anybody says. Those icy whites and that burnt orange logo, nothing beats it. I don't care what anybody has to say. It's fire. Period. Full stop. I don't care who hears it. So that's how I feel about it.
I actually agree that those icy whites are nice. Those icy whites are really, really nice. I love that. Honestly, ever since I was young, I love that uniform. So I can't even lie to you about that one.
Yeah,
But
I love it.
wow, I didn't I didn't know what I was asking, but I'm glad she's okay. I don't even know how to respond to that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really
What do
glad that
you
she's
say about
okay
life
because
and
that was
death,
a
right?
yeah, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it comes at
Yeah.
you fast.
The other thing is,
But
the
yeah,
other thing
it's
is
good that she was
to
okay.
Yeah, the other thing is too, and I want to just like tell you that I appreciate, again, nobody ever
Hmm.
understands what goes on behind the scenes, what happens, what doesn't happen, because all people see is a recording and then that's it. If you're listening to this on
Yeah,
audio, you will not be able to see much of anything, so you'll be fine. Just know that we have went through a lot over these past couple of weeks to bring this episode to you, to record this episode. And so I just want to thank you for like trusting me to make it, let's make it look better, because we were just having all kinds of issues. And the other thing is, I think is important to note is like, this is also like our first like interaction
yeah,
and
for sure.
conversing and collaborating. And I think in a day and age where we don't often collaborate, we don't talk, we don't do things like this. And so I just want you to know that like, I appreciate you working with me and you like seeing my vision and understanding my vision to be like, all right, I'm going to do this for her. I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the thing. So I needed to give you your kudos publicly, because I appreciate that. And I appreciate the time, the energy, the effort. You have family, you have a life, you have things going on. So I needed to verbally tell you how much I appreciate that and give you your flowers so that everybody can hear it, because it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. All that matters is that we got it done. And it took me a long time to learn that. So I just want to say thank you.
For sure. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be on your show because I really like it. I like the setup and I like how like your questions and bullet points were real clear and concise and everything is just like you had a real organization to it and I really liked the organization, if that makes sense. It
Yeah.
was
No,
like
listen.
thank you.
Yeah, I
I
respect
should be
that. Yeah.
thanking you. Don't even worry about thanking me.
Anyways, well,
But
we will end on
yeah.
you. Anything that you want to say about Ohio State, anything you want to say about the week 1 matchup, anything you want to say just in general, that let's just say somebody is just now starting to watch college football, or just now are trying to find a team, or is just discovering like they lived under a rock, or they were deployed, or maybe they didn't know everything that happened last year. What would you tell them about Ohio State to close this out? And whatever you say, we will end on you.
Jeremiah Smith. That's what I got. Jeremiah Smith. Go Buckeyes. OHIO. Scarlet and gray all the way. Y'all gonna learn Carmen, Ohio this year. Everybody.
Hey,
That's it. That's
hey,
all I
hey,
got.
hey, hey,
Jeremiah
hey,
Smith.
careful there. Careful there. Careful there. Hey, everybody can learn after week 1. Okay. Leave us out of it. So, no, but seriously, I appreciate you.